question is how to make riffs from chords. So basically, if I'm playing chords or knowing how to play chords, can I use that to make riffs on guitar or solos?
That's a really interesting question. So how can you make riffs from chords? That's what
Yes.
the thing is. Okay, so the first thing to realize, and not many people do realize this, actually most people never learn this, that the notes of a chord come from a scale. So let's say if I, let's say, let me see if you can hear, let me know if you can hear this. I'm just gonna play something real quick. Can you hear that?
Yep. Sounds great.
Okay, so let's hear it again. This is just a simple major scale. And of course I'm playing with a little rhythm. But if I take these notes, this is the 7 notes in a scale, if a major scale, if I take some of these notes and combine them in certain ways, I actually get a chord out of it. So here's the scale again. If I play this note, and this note all at the same time, I actually get this chord, right? If I play, let's say, this note, those 3 notes, I get this chord. That's the essence of that chord. So what is my point? My point is that from the notes in a scale, if you combine those notes and play them at the same time, that's where chords come from. That's how chords are made, right? And there's a bunch of different types of chords because there's a bunch of different notes and scales in all the different keys. And we don't need to talk about all that. It's just that simple, though, that chords are simply a combination of notes from a scale played at the same time. That's it. Now, can you make riffs from that? Well, sure. Why not? You can make riffs from anything. I can make a riff with one note. I can make a riff without a note. Check this out. Whoops. It doesn't matter. I can tap on my guitar and make a riff, right? I can play one note and make a riff, or 2 notes. I can do something like this. That's a riff. Or I can do 2 notes. Something like that. So if I just take a chord, any chord, let's say I'm playing this chord here. This is a D chord. Doesn't matter what chord it is. It's just a D chord. If I'm playing this. So even if I just took the notes in this chord right here and made up a rhythm of different individual notes, that's a riff. So I'm just going to make something up. What if it was, that's a riff, right? That's a riff. That's how you can make up a riff from a chord. You can also just make a riff, a chord itself, just by playing the chord in a certain way. So that's kind of it's a chord, but it's like a riffy version of a chord. So one thing that a lot of people wonder about is like picking notes when you're playing chords. So for example, instead of strumming the chord like this, you can pick out the different notes. So something like that. If you just do that, if you pick out the notes in the chord in a rhythmic way, just like I did earlier, something like this. It's just a riff, right? And then you change chords. And I can keep going. And I don't know, you just make it up, right? So what is a riff? I think that's important, is if you use some chords, the chords themselves will give you the right notes. So you can start, a little method for this is that you can start picking out the notes in the chord that you like, and then you can change chords and do the same thing. Pick out the notes in the chords that you like. And if you're changing chords in a chord progression and you're picking out the notes that you like, well, that's going to give you a really great sounding riff with chords behind it. So that's how you can do that.
Yeah, that's great. So a lot of people probably don't realize that if you started off by just learning basic chords or power chords or something like that, you're really not that far away from being able to do something really creative with it.
Oh yeah, totally.
Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. We would love it if you hit the like button, leave a comment below, tell us what you thought about it, and subscribe to the channel. We're going to release really great content, some great backing tracks so you can practice your guitar skills on. And if you're interested in taking your guitar to the next level, we have a free course that we want to give to you. It's in the description of this video. It's going to help you discover how to freely express yourself on guitar without endless amounts of scales and theory. So check it out and let us know what you think. Thanks.